you got to get employment. You can't just be living off your daughter's Social Security. You need to start working because you're living off of your daughter's income. That's not right.
And that's not intentional.
2020 CR 12248, State of Texas versus Tracy Gomez. Are you Miss Tracy Gomez?
I am, Your Honor.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor? Range of punishment for that offense is up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor. There's going to let your punishment be assessed at 180 days in Bexar County Jail. There's a $1,000 fine. No application for deferred adjudication. They recommend community supervision. Take in consideration night bag number 580862, ignition interlock, DWI intervention, DWI repeat offender program, DWI VIP, 1 year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation of 140 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
The court will find there's sufficient evidence of guilt and the court will find you guilty of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I have no doubt that she will successfully complete everything that the court is imposing as a condition of her probation. We're very grateful to the state for their consideration, and she's been very helpful in her defenses and in helping us negotiate with the state.
All right, the court will sentence you then to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years, $1,000 fine that will be probated. Taking consideration night bag numbers 580862. Then the court will sentence you to ignition interlock for half the term, or if you provide an affidavit of non-driving, then Rebecca, she can have an alternative to ignition interlock, whichever I guess is the least expensive one, either Scram or PAM or whichever one is least expensive. DWI intervention, DWI repeat offender program, DWI VIP, 1 year Texas driver's license suspension, proof of employment within 30 days, 90 hours of community service restitution, and outpatient treatment with probation. And there's to be a regular Zoom reporting with probation and random UAs. Rebecca, is there anything else she needs?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Gomez, is there anything else you need to be successful?
I just I feel bad that I'm here today. I'm sorry. I'm getting nervous and stuff.
There's no need to be nervous here.
I understand, Judge. It's just I feel guilty because I'm a single parent to my daughter that has special needs, and I would never do anything like that again. And I was 24/7 with her at home, and I just went to go get something to eat, and I just feel really bad that I'm with her so much. We had to get fresh air, and this occurred, and I walk with guilt every day. My first DWI was because my mother died, and I tried to kill myself a long time ago. That was 10 years ago. I never thought I would be in front of you or any judge for a situation like this, and especially when my child's involved. I have learned, but I'm upset. I'm disappointed in myself, and I barely got a job. I started working a few months ago. I always I was, like I said, I was a 24/7 parent with a little girl with Down syndrome, and I'm blessed that the ADA gave me a chance, and as you as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ms. Gomez, life is all about learning lessons. If you make a mistake, you learn from it, you don't repeat it.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all any of us can do, because life is a journey, and it truly is a journey. And it's a journey where you're constantly learning.
Yes, ma'am.
So just take this as a lesson learned, and it won't happen anymore, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, make sure you stay in contact with your probation officer. If there are any issues, contact probation.
I have a question.
Yes.
I've been reporting every week. I've never missed reporting every week. Do I continue to do that, or can I go monthly?
Probation will tell you what the conditions are.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
You're welcome.
All right, who's here on Tracy Gomez? All right,
Good morning, Judge.
good morning. All right, so here's my question. And this was my concern. How are you financially supporting yourself?
I get Social Security for my daughter.
Well, I mean, that's support for her specifically. That's not supposed to be for you using.
It covers, like, because we get Section 8 and we get food stamps, and that's how I've been living from her for the past 8 years. She's gonna be 9, so I've been a full-time parent since then. I have little jobs here and there, but it's been difficult. And sometimes I can't hold them. I have too many appointments for her. They're
What
randomly,
appointments do you
and then
have for
I
her?
my own as well.
What appointments do you have for her?
For her, we're supposed to be back on PT, OT. We have physical therapy. I'm supposed to give her a behavioral. I haven't done it because it's just so much. And then plus I've been feeling sick myself when we came last time, I had the mask on my neck still. And I'm supposed to see a doctor coming up this February.
When is she going to school?
She does go to school.
All right, so why don't you have a job while she's at school?
Because if she gets sick, and especially during this COVID time, I lost a job because of that. I had a job last year and I lost it because we had to stay home for 14 days. She has a real immune system. She's Down syndrome. So
Well, here's the thing. I understand your issues. I understand the situation. I understand that you want to care for your daughter. But I also understand that your sole source of support financially is not supposed to be your daughter's Social Security. You're going to have to get a job. And if you get a job and you lose a job, then you get the job and you lose the job for your daughter. But you need to start working, because you're living off of your daughter's income. That's not right.
and that's not intentional either, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to correct that. You're going to have to get a job. And honestly, when you go in for a job interview, you need to inform them up front that my daughter's special needs, I may have to leave sometime. And normally employers will allow that. If you provide proof, you just can't say, well, I'm leaving because of this. I mean, there are plenty of times people in this court have emergencies with their children. And honestly, there are times in this court where the staff will tell me, my child has a soccer game. Can I leave early? I'm like, yes, you can. Go cheer on your child at the long soccer game. Because how long do those games last? Because I think with children now, they do something silly where you have like 4 games in one day or something.
Like tournaments.
Yes. So you got to get employment. You can't just be living off your daughter's Social Security.
It's not a plan that I wanted. It's
No.
very difficult. Like, I do it by myself. I don't mean to be upset, but I mean, if she gets sick, I'm able to go get her or be
Oh,
there
yeah.
for her.
Here's the thing. If
But
you're
I've
at
lost
work,
jobs
if
because
you're
of
at
that.
work and your daughter gets sick, you tell your employer, I just got a notice, my daughter's sick, I'm going to have to leave. And when you leave to go get your daughter, if they fire you, then who knows, maybe you can get a civil attorney, maybe not. Maybe the civil attorney will tell you, yeah, you don't have a case. This is Texas. Or maybe they will tell you you do have a case. But if you lose your job, you lose your job. You can't depend on your child's check that's supposed to be for her specifically to financially support you. I mean, you tell me you're on Section 8, which means that the rent or whatever you're paying is much less than other people who are not. Then, so you're using your daughter's income for your housing, you're using her income for food, you're using her income for clothes, you're using her income for gas. If you're putting gas in your vehicle, if you have a vehicle, you're using her income for your car note. If you have a car note, you're using her income for your utilities. She is financially supporting you. And what I can tell you is there was a time, I think it was, I'm aging myself again, I want to say it's Jerry Coogan, who was a child actor in, I don't know, like the 40s or whatever time he was. And he ended up broke. And you know why he ended up broke? Because his parents were living off him and he was the sole supporter for his family. Your daughter should not be the sole source of financial support for you. So you're gonna have to get a job, and I'm requiring you to get a job. And if you end up getting fired from that job, then you get fired from that job and you're gonna search for another one, because your sole source of income should not be your daughter. You understand? How old is your daughter? She's 8 years old. And the fact that you're using her money specifically for you to live off on, guess what? It's like your daughter is going to work to support you.
It's not like that, Judge Boyd. I had a job before. I lost a job. I tried to get a job again.
Mhm.
When you do call centers or try to work from home, I'm trying. I have looked for jobs. I have put Indeed, I put everywhere so I can work from home. What makes you think, I'm sorry, no disrespect, but what makes you think that I want to live off of $800 and something a month when my car note is covering that and my rent? It is exhausting, and trying to be there mentally and physically for my daughter and all her appointments. I have put that on hold, which I'm not supposed to. But with COVID and everything else, and her low immune system has just been a headache for me. I do this alone. I don't ask anybody for help. I don't ask for any extra.
Is her father
finances.
alive?
No, not alive. He's not around. He said he
Well-
didn't want a retarded daughter.
All right, so here's the thing, and this is what I try to tell everybody. We choose our partners in life. We decide to have children and we choose the partner that we're going to have a child with, usually, normally. So you chose him. And guess what? I'm not your civil attorney, but you walk straight over to civil court and you file documents to have him put on child support.
And he has not paid.
Well, then you need to go do an enforcement and you need to get an attorney to do that. But I want you to hear me clearly. I understand your issues. I do. But it doesn't change the fact that you are living off of your child. You're living off of her income. You need to get a job. That's the way it's, you got to get a job. That's the way it has to be, because you can't live off your daughter's income. Your daughter, even though she's getting Social Security, it's as though your daughter is working. You are not working and you're living off of her. You're living off of her. And honestly, you're living off of taxpayers because you're in Section 8. How much is your rent?
138 is going up.
Okay, so it's $138. How much should it really be though? I've had people come before me, their rent is $27 when it really should be $1,500. Everybody else in here, and not everybody, because I don't know everybody's situation, but I know everyone who is in the well of the court, they're not paying $138. I would love to pay $138 for our place. I would be living like a queen, traveling every single day because it's only $138. So here's the thing. You have got to get a job. End of story. You can't live off your child. And if there's a call center you can work for, then work for it. If you can work at McDonald's, then work at McDonald's. But I am not going to allow you to live off your daughter. And you're here for a driving while intoxicated case that was reduced to a misdemeanor. So the fact that you had alcohol, guess what? Your daughter paid for you to have alcohol. And I know your daughter's not drinking. So you took part of her social security money to pay for alcohol.
I didn't pay to use alcohol.
Did somebody buy you that drink?
Yes, ma'am. It was my birthday time.
Who bought you the drink?
My friend Val.
All right, so you're out drinking, enjoying your life. And was your daughter with you when you were drinking?
Yes, ma'am. And this is a dinner.
So there we are. But you're going to get a job. Everybody in here is required to have employment. You cannot continue to live off your daughter. And you need to stay in touch with probation because I'm not even asking you to pay your fees. And it shows here that you have a net income of $540. That means that something needs to be cut out. I don't know if it's the cable TV. I don't know if you have cable, but you need to get a job. End of story.
It's my car.
All right, you need to get a job. All right. So she's going to be required to get employment.
And when is my probation end?
You're going to get employment. And here's the thing. If your probation needs to be extended, it will be, but you're getting employment before you leave this court. Part of completing probation successfully is having employment. Now, if you don't want to be on probation, if you want to, you can find someone who you trust to take care of your daughter and we can send you to the Bexar County Jail and you can do your time at the jail, but you will have employment in this court. Otherwise, a motion to revoke is going to be filed and you could potentially be at the Bexar County Jail for 180 days. It's completely up to you, but I require everyone to have employment. And again, she's not to have employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And I'm going to want an update on her employment by February the 1st. Let me see.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I just don't want you to think like I'm using my daughter. That's not what it is. I was employed. I haven't been employed since last year and I haven't found a job. I have been looking and.
Well, if you have not been employed since last year, 1 month last year, when's the last time you? February.
Yes, ma'am.
So that means that you were not employed March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You have not been working for 10 months. So you've been living off your daughter for 10 months and I'm not going to continue to allow it. You're getting a job.
And with all respect, yes, ma'am, I understand that. But I don't feel like, hey, I'm using my daughter or.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're living off of your daughter. I don't know what you don't understand about that. Your rent, your daughter is paying your rent. You're not. Your utilities, your daughter is paying your utilities.
I am
The
her
gas, you're not providing for her. The government is providing for her through her
I
SSI.
am her caretaker. I take care of her.
You're not doing a good job because you are living off of her.
How am I not doing a good job?
You're living off your daughter financially. Here's the thing. If SSI were not to give your daughter any money, if you didn't have your daughter, you would not be getting Section 8 housing. You would not be living at the place you're living for $138. And it's probably, how many bedrooms is it?
It's two.
It's 2 bedrooms. How many bathrooms is it?
Two.
All right, it's 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. I can tell you right now, I know without even looking at your place, that place is more than $138. And the reason why you're getting it for $138 is because of your daughter. So the taxpayers are picking up the tab on what you really should be paying for that. So you can thank your daughter for that. The utilities, if you have to pay utilities, your daughter is paying that, not you. The gas you put in your car, your daughter is paying that, not you. The groceries on your table, you say you get food stamps, the taxpayers are paying that. And anything extra that's not covered for food stamps, your daughter is paying that. So yes, you are living off of your daughter. You're not bringing anything financially to the table. And I'm going to say it for the last time. You are getting employment. You will have employment by February 2nd. If you do not, a motion to revoke will be filed and you could be looking at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. Thank you.